Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Good as Gold number 28 on Thursday, May 10th. I am your friendly host and caster, OrD, that's O-R-D. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and all those pretty places down below. We've almost loaded up the game, so let's hop right in there. And then let's realize that we need to configure the correct names. We don't want to have the wrong people represented as playing. We do have a Zerg versus a Terran. On the left side, it will be CoreStar, who is the red Zerg. On the right side, we will have TGG Griffs. TG Griffs, yes, just one G, and he is an orange Terran, clearly a man after my heart. We have a 0-0 matchup for this best of one. And let's open up F11, let's see. OrD, good luck or whatever. Okay, so an attempt at good manner, a little half-heartedly, but still nice to see. In the upper right-hand corner, again, wearing the best color ever known to man, orange, we have our Terran player, TG Griffs. And in our lower left-hand corner, in the angry, bloodthirsty red color, we have our Zerg player, CoreStar. A little part of me really wants to be IM's legend, who is the observer for the GSL, which is over in Korea, which is the top level StarCraft 2 competition known to man currently, and it will continue to be, hopefully. We have, who just won last night? It was MVP, kind of ruffle-stomped, a very good Protoss player. Oh, and I know who it was, and I can't remember because I'm on air and therefore on the spot. But it was very good. StarTale legend. Oh, not IM! Ebon woman! Evan woman. I get your name now. Thank you for calling me out there. Can't believe, I think I actually screw that up when I say that on Twitter. So yes, shout out to StarTale's legend. He is awesome. We got a little bit of drone on SCV action. That sounds wrong. Didn't mean it that way. We just have a drone chasing an SCV around. The SCV returns, probably trying to double check that CoreStar did indeed lay down that expansion, and he gets it down just before the SCV can get in its way. Now we have a little bit of a block there. If you are a Terran player who's trying to do that, if you just click on the minerals, the SCV will actually ghost its way through the other worker, and you won't have to deal with taking those 2 to 3 extra unnecessary hits as the SCV twitches and tries to run around. 2 drones now pulled to attack this SCV. Clearly, new queen range, heart, says CoreStar. I mean, the new queen range being increased is nice, and the SCV goes down. However, I think the biggest advantage that we will see for Zerg is the increase in Overlord speed. However, this is the second game in a row where I've casted a Zerg who has not bothered to send that Overlord scout out first. And in fact, if we look at CoreStar's vision, he has no clue what's going on out there on the map right now. He is starting to discover a few things, but he's taking a very circuitous route about it. We do see the very, 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 very common Hellion build being conducted with 2 Marines ahead of time, so we wanted a little bit of extra protection. Not exactly a bad idea because we do have the Zerglings that are come out and probably push forward and at least gain control of Xel'Naga. We have finally that Overlord moving forward. Look at that increased speed at work. Look at it. It's beautiful. A second SCV from TG Griffs just barely sneaks by, and CoreStar now sees it. It'll be interesting to see if TG Griffs does build a bunker. There's a really good place back here or over here where you're only exposed to attack from 2 different angles, and it kind of forces your Zerg player to react, sometimes makes them build more Zerglings than they want to early game, and therefore robs them of drones. However, we see a pretty early Roach Warren out of our Zerg player. And now the Tech Lab going down at TG Griffs. 2 different Terran players, however, almost the same build. Never mind, he's got an much earlier command center that's going down. He looks like he's going to upgrade it before he runs it down. He's going to use the Hellions to control the map overall. This Overlord could very well be sacrificed. It would be really fun to see these Marines out on the map a little bit, having caught the Overlord. However, they probably expected it to be more like here by now. That is a typical first location. Now we have Zerglings controlling the far Xel'Naga, or the near Xel'Naga, depending on your perspective, and the Hellions running in, running by, and they're gonna hide in the little bush. Okay, trying to be cute. We got more Hellions en route, and now our Zerg player actually controls both Xel'Nagas, and that's disappointing to see it of our Terran player. He has allowed Courtstar to see him coming. Hey, guy says he's still in this game, but Zeke says he won, says Riley. We have a Spine Crawler that's not yet complete. Our +5, alright, our 5-range Queen can't really do anything. These Hellions meet one Roach, they get a few kills. Wow, they're really dying a lot more quickly than I thought they would. They kill another worker. Really, they can get one more. Oh, okay. Not the best Hellion micro there. And in fact, as we open up the Reaper list, we see only 5 workers were killed, while 6 units were killed. So it's not that hugely effective, and in fact, sacrificing the Hellions means that TG Griffs doesn't have map control, and so he doesn't feel comfortable moving down that ramp. Instead, he's just going to double SCV production, and he's going to mule up here in his main, and he's darn near at perfect saturation. In fact, without this down, he in fact is about to oversaturate himself. We see the Roachlings kind of moving out, kind of not really sure. With this bunker down and the second bunker and more units on the way, TG Griffs would probably be just fine if Courtstar had tried to push into him. I would really like to see Courtstar take advantage of the fact that he's established a pretty significant lead by cleaning up those Hellions and taking this third down here. 1 gas Roach Warren, that's silly. Indeed it was. Indeed it was. Really quickly, I actually have to do admin on the side. Pay no attention to me. We are following TG Griff's vision right now as I update the brackets. And we see him doing a lot of switching over there. Rax is going down to get some faster marine production, and the Overlords are still getting good scouting information for the most part. We're going to switch over to our Zerg player's point of view. We see he did indeed set up that third base. I'm sorry for the slight delay. I'm just resetting a match. Going back to the Terran player, TG Griff's vision, we see that he's laying down an expansion and scanning to make sure that he's not about to have to face anything too unpleasant like early mutas. We're going to switch back to the Everyone cam, and the production tab tells us that we have more hatches coming down. Agony's asking if he advanced, and I don't know what's going on with Zeke right now. Trying to fix that while cast simultaneously, so sorry. We do see the Overlord finally going down, that speed advantage not being quite enough for him. Switching back to our Zerg point of view now. And we see he's just doing a little bit of maintenance back home. And now we have that match fixed. And back to the Everyone cam and casting for real. Sorry for that brief delay. We want to make sure that we have everybody advancing through the brackets as quickly as possible so that people don't have to wait too long in between their games, and so that we don't have to wait too long between casting. We have some people being added to some workers, some SEVs being added to the gas. The third base is well established. Nice to see some gases going down soon. Heck, even taking a fourth really might be able to. We see that supply block is definitely being a problem for our Zerg players over the last 2 games. That Baneling Nest finally coming down. The Roach Warren researching that glial reconstitution, which increases the movement speed of roaches. Let's find one of those and learn something. And we see a roach currently has a movement speed of 2.25 off creep, and in just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we see now that they have a movement speed of 3 with that upgrade, and plus 0.9 while on creep. Hopefully that's the last time I have to address that problem. If not, we're definitely going to have to bring in another admin to take care of it. We see our Terran player hovering around 90 supply. Courtstar moving up finally to 120. Still not taking his gases, and definitely, wow, oversaturating his third quite significantly. Could be long distance mining and beginning a more effective mining rate, finally sending out a drone to take the fourth. However, TG Griffs is moving down that exact same side. Maybe. He's considering, he's regrouping, now he's moving down, and the Overlord vision on that side is just not good for Courtstar, who is about to have a very rude little surprise. Now he just moved a unit up there. However, hello, says Tank. If an admin is needed, I will volunteer, says RoboGunner. Thank you, sir. That's actually fantastic, and I will be in contact with you about that. And wow, all the drones just abandon that base. Perhaps the best decision out of Courtstar, as he cancels his fourth and loses his third, but doesn't really lose a lot of drones. Hopefully he runs all of them up here and starts mining to continue his production rate. The Overseer there just moments too late. The tank's being sieged forward. Oh, it would have been such nice timing if he'd moved down then. But now that the tanks are sieged, these roaches are going to take a lot of unnecessary damage. The Marine Marauder Force moves forward onto the creep and says, hello, Banelings, we will gladly kill you before you can morph. Or maybe they won't. Some target fire on the Banelings. Okay, there we go. Only two more Banelings. Hopefully they don't take out too much. One, two. Oh, only one really landed any good hits. However, Courtstar's at an even supply with TG Griffs, and the majority of those are caught up in these drones right here. And now we're going to send out some Lings to do some surround just outside the Spinecrawler range, which is a little unfortunate. Now roaches, now a ton of drones are pulled. Oh my goodness, more roaches being thrown into the fray. And I believe Courtstar is going to hold this push just based on that drone production. Look at them go. Wow, they do effective work when completely surrounding something. TG Griffs is upset about the Queen range, and I'm really pretty certain that was not what tips the scale there, but, you know, whatever makes him feel better about it. The Xel'Naga, the roaches at the Xel'Naga, rather, watch as the tanks, are cheekily unloaded in range, but unfortunately die. Wow, we get a little bit of micro contest as TG Griffs tries to regain a little of his honor. Now we have the third and the fourth going back down, and again, these drones not doing that long distance mining that they really could be doing. The creep spread lacking a little bit out of Courtstar. That's another thing that really hindered him with the fourth. If his creep spread had been a little bit better, he would have seen it in time. Wow, the macro out of TG Griffs being fantastic. He's got another force of almost the same size as that original force moving down the map. However, there's a pretty decent amount of roaches, and wow, a fantastic little tank positioning there. However, that Queen is going to take care of it quite effectively. Roaches out behind the force. Interestingly, they're engaging without any Zergling or drone support this time. We have 2,000 minerals for Courtstar, who really should lay down 3 or 4 macro hatches at this point, because he could easily sacrifice his expansion and still be in this game with that 2,800 mineral count. Now the drones come again, and Courtstar GG's. Hate to see it when you're floating at that many minerals, but being supply blocked a few times, that tends to happen. So, waiting just a moment for our overlay, no, not our overlay, our score screen. We see that indeed it was still a pretty close game there at the end. Probably done, but you can't be quite sure as you see the army value drop to almost nothing, and then the production cycle of Zerg kick in and then drop again to almost nothing. Our resource collection rate stayed extremely even throughout, with only one major spike out of our Terran player, TG Griffs, who, I'm delighted to say, takes his orange shorts and advances to round number 4, the semi-finals of Good as Gold number 28. I've been OrD, and you all are awesome.